everybody, this is Mr. Rob, and welcome back to another episode of the Delaware Fightin Blue Hens Dynasty here on EA Sports College Football 26. In today's episode, we hit the road to face Big Red and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers in a big game for the Blue Hens. If we win this game here today, we have clinched ourselves a spot in the Conference USA Championship game in our final conference game of the season. So a lot to play for. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. Western Kentucky is sitting at 4-6 on the season. They're playing for bowl eligibility, so they have got some stuff on the line as well. So this shouldn't be an easy matchup. Last week we almost overlooked Kennesaw State and lost that game before having to make a fourth quarter comeback. So hopefully Delaware comes out sharp here today in the rain in Kentucky as we are underway. It'll be the Hilltoppers starting off with the football, as they'll bring this one out to about the 20-yard line. We'll take a look at their offense, led by senior quarterback Caleb McMickle. And he will lead out a talented offense led by Monty Kennedy and Tank Hawkins, a couple of good skill players. First play of the game for the Hilltoppers will be a pass as McMickle looks short, is caught by Hawkins, who breaks a tackle. And Tank has speed, and he's going to outrun everybody for an 80-yard touchdown on the first play of the game. But it will not count. A holding call on right tackle Enrique Smith-Diaz wipes out the big play. A very unfortunate start for the Hilltoppers, but we just dodged a huge bullet. They come back after the holding call, and there's a miss on play action by McMickle, who's completed less than 50% of his passes this season. Second and 20 now, only a three-man rush, has all day to throw, hits this one on the right side, but it's dropped incomplete. And now it's a 3rd and 20. Back to the air, McMickle looks short, and he's not on the same page. That's 3 misses after the big holding call, and we'll get the football led, of course, by sophomore quarterback Darrell Cole, transferred in the offseason away from South Carolina, started his career at Kent State. He's been good for the Blue Hens. After a not-so-good punt, we start off at the 37 of the Hilltoppers, and on first down, Cole wants to throw, but he's actually going to tuck it and run. He's got himself a lane, and he's going to pick up 16 off of the scramble to the left side. Next play, he'll keep it himself on the read option design run, and he's got a nice carry of 8. 2 carries, 24 yards for Cole. For Tate Titshaw, the junior, hits him down. 2nd and 2, it's a pass out wide. This is Dean, the Kennesaw State transfer, who gets the first. But unfortunately, Deion Dotson, the starting center, will come off the field with an injury. Next play, it's an RPO throw to Mayo, and that's going to be a touchdown. Cole finds Miles Mayo for the score, and Delaware will take a 7-0 lead off an impressive first drive. So we'll see what Western Kentucky has after the 3-and-out last drive. Is on first down. This will be a throw across the middle that's incomplete. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Another holding call, this time on Chris Small, the right guard, starting in place of the injured Antoine Manning. So it'll back them up 1st and 20. They get to 2nd and 16 now, as bringing a man in motion, but they don't get the snap off. There's another flag, and it'll be a delay of game. This Western Kentucky offense does not look in sync right now, and they've got it to a 3rd and 14 as they try to spread out the defense, and they just call a QB draw and pick up 6. I guess they wanted some more room to punt. They don't have a very good punter. It's the freshman James Bogan. As you can see again, Delaware starts off in Hilltopper territory, but after the play fake on this first down, the ball's thrown out of bounds. They're going to get Cole an intentional grounding, so nonetheless, that'll back us up, and it's quickly a 3rd and 12. And Delaware has to burn a timeout. Couldn't get the play off in time. Seems like both offenses are dealing with some not communication errors. 3rd and 12, trying to hit Vitko up the seam is incomplete, and that'll be a punt away. So Delaware gives it back to the Hilltoppers. 7.5 to go in the first quarter. It's a keeper for McMickle, but he's quickly brought down by Chris Kalotz, who's already got 3 tackles on the day. 3rd and 2 now. McMickle calls his own number, and he doesn't get the first. I think he would have had it if he cut upfield. Instead, he tries to bounce it out, and that's another punt. And Delaware again starts off in Hilltopper territory. At the 46 of WKU, there's an early flag down. Cole will find a wide-open Browning, but I don't think this play will stand. And it'll be a holding call against Delaware. It's the right guard, Anthony Cassis, who gets the penalty. 3rd and 4 now for Delaware. Cole to throw. Looks short. It's got Gash, and he will get the first down. So the sophomore Larry Gash, off his second grab of the day, will move the chains. to the 34 of the Hilltoppers. It's a play fake on first down. Cole under some pressure, just barely gets it off, incomplete. Second and 10, now a handoff for Tyrone Brown. He's got a big hole up the middle, and that's going to be a first down. And DJ Morton hurt on the play for the Hilltoppers. Second and 10 now for Delaware's offense, spreading it out as Cole will go to the air, quickly fires for Gash, and he's going to have a first down at the marker. They give it to him. 3 catches, 24 yards for the impact sophomore. Goal to go now here for the Hens. It's play fake. Cole under some pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Anthony Fraboni brings him down. He's getting the start for the injured Jaden Kenoy. He makes the most of it. Now second goal from the 16. Cole looks right side for Vitko. It's incomplete, hit in the air. Now it's going to be a 3rd and goal all the way from the 16-yard line. Cole will dump it off short for Vitko, who's got a blocker, and he gets it all the way down to the 1. A good run. And Delaware has got a decision to make, but they're going to bring out the field goal unit. Walter Lipton, the shortest field goal from the far right hash, and he's not going to hit it. Those can be very awkward angle kicks, and it bites Delaware in the butt as they get nothing on that drive. Fortunately for our defense, we bring it to a quick 3rd and 9, and in the pocket, that one should have been intercepted. There's going to be a holding call against Enrique Smith-Diaz. It's not going to matter anyway. We will decline, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Delaware leads this one 7-0, and what's been otherwise a pretty ugly game for both offenses. We had a good first drive, and of course we had that last drive, but we didn't get points on it. Nonetheless, we start the second quarter in Hilltopper territory. I feel like we've been here all game, but Browning's going to lose 4. Malcolm McCain in the backfield. It has not been a good day for Browning thus far. It's now a 3rd and 15. Quick pass wide for Vitko. Gets some yardage back. And Delaware will actually go for it here on 4th and 7. I guess they're in no man's land. It's interesting you don't trust your kicker for a 48-yarder. I guess it is raining. They go short for Dean, and he will just get the first down as he gets tackled forward. Also, we did lose left guard Rafael Favorite for the rest of the drive with a minor injury. He should be back. As on first down, there's a nice 4-yard completion, and Cole 13 for 19 for 103 yards and a score. Second and 6, play fake. Cole's got a man, and it goes through the hands of Larry Gash. You got to bring that one in. Could have been 6. Instead, it's a 3rd down as we get nowhere, but there's a flag down, and it looks like cornerback Xavier Griffin lined up in the neutral zone. Okay, we'll take it. That's a free 5, so instead of a 4th down, it's 3rd and 1, and we give it to Browning, and he's going to get the first down. So thank you for that offsides as we have goal to go now here from the 8. Cole, it's another RPO, and it's to Miles Mayo again, who beats Griffin in single coverage. That's the same play they ran on the first touchdown. It works twice. The Blue Hens now lead 14-0. Western Kentucky's next drive would end in a 3-and-out, as here they are punting it away to Maiden, who's already got it at the 33 of Western Kentucky. Honestly, by how long we've spent in their territory, I'm surprised we're only up by 14, as Cole on first down is going to keep it and run it himself. And he gets this once more inside the red zone, 17 yards for Darryl Cole. First down pass for Browning out of the backfield, and he's going to have a touchdown. Wins the foot race to the end zone, and Delaware all of a sudden leads now 21-0. Starting to cash in on these short fields. We'll see what Western Kentucky's offense has. It's been very, very quiet today. Now they're 2nd and 7. They hand it off to Monty Kennedy, who gets a nice run on the outside. And he breaks the ankles of the safety into Delaware territory. Biggest offensive play of the day for the Hilltoppers, and they will hurry back to the line. At the 40 of Delaware, it's a handoff for Kennedy. Nice one cut up the middle. He's got another big gain out to the 25. 6 carries for 62 yards for Kennedy, but 2 of those have been essentially his entire offense. It's now 1st and 10, and this one will be thrown out of bounds. Caleb McMickle ran out of time. So that'll stop the clock now. 2nd and 10. McMickle again back to the air. Only a 3-man rush. Steps through, tucks it and runs, and he slides down after a gain of 8. It's going to make it a 3rd and short. McMickle calls his own number, and he will not get there. Marked a yard shy. Kalot brings him down. And the Hilltoppers offense will stay on the field. 4th and 1 trying to convert. They give it to Kennedy, and he will do just that as he gets 2 yards to move the chains. So now a red zone trip here for the Hilltoppers, as this will be another give to Monty Kennedy, who's quickly bottled up for a minimal gain. Hilltoppers do run a no-huddle offense, as quickly though it's 3rd and 5. And they go with the draw, and it doesn't fool the defense. Woodley in the backfield. And now Western Kentucky will take the 3, and that'll actually bring us to the end of the first half. It's been a very weird game of football. The rain, I think, definitely playing a factor, but Delaware starting to pull away 21-3 as Chris Collard on defense has been flying all over the field. 7 tackles for the Mike linebacker, including a sack. And Delaware will get the football to begin the second half. They start off at their own 25 with split backs. It's a handoff to Tyrone Browning, and the Texas State transfer has been bottled up for most of today. Only 10 carries for 28 yards is the junior. 2nd and 8, they can't get the snap off, and Delaware will face a delay of game. It's been a couple of offensive miscues for both teams thus far today. So now with 2nd and 13, they give it to Browning, who cuts up the middle, and he gains about 8, making a much more manageable 3rd and 5. They bring a man in motion. It's a play fake. Cole keeping his eyes downfield, fires, and he can't connect with his receiver. Don't think it would have counted anyway. They're going to get a holding call on left tackle Zach Fawn. That will be declined. So no points for Delaware's first drive. And here's the first one for the Hilltoppers as quickly McMickle is sacked. Only a 3-man rush, but the power of Eamon Smalls, our sack leader, finds his way into the backfield for a loss of 5. 2nd and 15 now. McMickle, 3-man rush again. Just dumps it short. Western Kentucky does not take shots downfield. It's kind of been the thing of their offense. Look at McMickle's numbers. 6 for 15 for less than 50 yards passing today. 3rd and 9 now. McMickle in the pocket. Only a 3-man rush. Just daring him to do something, and he throws it out of bounds. Delaware's defense is just begging Western Kentucky to do something with it. Only rushing 3, and they won't do anything. Now for them, they get a 3 and out as Deion Dotson's hurt again. Nice play on the outside to stop that from being a first down. So the ball goes back to the Hilltoppers. Here they are, 2nd and 8, and McMickle is sacked. Dalton Dotson, the sophomore tackle, with a sack there, and it's quickly 3rd and 15, setting up a screen for Kennedy, and he will not get there. And again, Western Kentucky will punt, and that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 21-3 your score. Delaware all over Western Kentucky. What's been otherwise a pretty ugly game, I would say, for both teams. Cole's had a lot of targets for both of his players as he has them at the 15 of Western Kentucky to begin the 4th quarter, and they're going backwards. Jeremiah Alston Jackson in the backfield for a TFL, and it's 3rd and 13 now. Cole to the air, time, runs out, takes a sack, and at the 26, Delaware's going to punt. They're not even going to try a 43-yard field goal. Interesting call. It's a 3-score game in the 4th quarter, as Western Kentucky's got to do something on this drive, and on 3rd and 8, they try to throw it deep, but time runs out, so they will punt it away. Delaware gets the football back. They're at the 26 of Western Kentucky, which is apparently not in field goal range. And look who's in the backfield. Gideon Nguanu off the play fake finds his man at the goal to go. That's Mayo again. Cole will be done for the rest of the day. He will not play. He's got a little bit of a foot problem, it looks like, so there's no reason to really play him with the score as is. So it'll be up to Gideon Nguanu to finish the game. After a stop on 1st down, 2nd and goal, they give it to McConomy, and he will get it to the 3-yard line. Make a goal to go again. 4 carries, 14 yards from McConomy. Can he punch it in here? He does not get the ball. Instead, it's a Gideon keeper, and he will score off the read option. Nguanu punches it in, and that seems like the dagger. It is now 28-3, a 4-score game with less than 7 minutes to go. 4th and 19, Western Kentucky forced to airmail it, and Alexander Cobbs will break that one up. That's a turnover on downs, and Delaware again deep into Western Kentucky territory. 3rd and 4. They try to throw it out wide. That one should have been intercepted. Instead, it's dropped. And that'll be 3 more for Delaware if Walter Lipton could hit this one from the left hash. A little bit more space, and he's got it. It's now 31-3. And then later in the game, underneath a minute to go, 1st and goal for the Blue Hens. They really only have 2 more plays left in this game. And they hand it off to McConomy, and why not just score again? Touchdown, Delaware. 38-3 now, and that would be your final score. The Blue Hens take care of business in Western Kentucky territory and punch their ticket to the Conference USA Championship game. Delaware in their 3rd season in the FBS will be playing in the Conference Championship game. How about that for the Blue Hens? It was not the prettiest game at times, but Delaware did just come in and take care of business. The defense played impeccable. Western Kentucky has a lot of problems on offense that were highlighted in this game. But Delaware knew what they were going to do and had a perfect game plan, and they only give up 140 yards of offense in this game. 9 for 28 was McMickle for 42 yards. That is ugly stuff. Kennedy rushed for over 100 yards, but if you take away its 2 big plays, he probably had closer to like 40. And Delaware, after the 3 first half touchdowns for Cole, that's really all they needed. They kind of stopped a lot in the second half. Third quarter was kind of ugly, which is why we didn't take a look at a lot of that quarter. But we're able to get the victory, and now we will play in the conference championship game. Top stories as we head into rivalry week. The Heroes game between Iowa and Nebraska will be a big one, specifically for the Cornhuskers. Of course, the Palmetto Bowl. We got to talk about that one. South Carolina, Clemson, that will always hold a spot in my heart. And then LSU upsets Tennessee this week, knocking them out of the rankings. And then we will also see UCLA with one more test, trying to finish the regular season undefeated. They're going to face USC. Your scores from Week 12. Liberty beats FIU, and that will be a nice middle-of-the-pack game for the Conference USA. Temple beats Tulane to join the rankings. Nevada beats Northern Illinois by a touchdown. Georgia Southern over the rivals in Georgia State. Pitt trying to hang on to the playoff hopes. Beats down NC State this week. Florida up to number 20. They beat Syracuse, while UConn, we'll see next week, beats Army 27-6. They have a bowl game on the line in the game against us. BYU then beats West Virginia by a point before we get into some action. Toledo over Miami, Ohio. We see Buffalo double up Central Michigan, and Eastern Michigan take care of Akron. Texas, the number 2 team, puts up 57 on their rivals in Arkansas. And then Tulsa over Memphis on the road. In the Pac-12, it's Colorado State who beats Washington State, and Southern Miss puts up 52 on La Tech. Oklahoma puts up 59 on Vanderbilt. A lot of high-scoring games this week. And Missouri State beats Sam Houston. It looks like it's going to be us versus the Bears in the Conference USA Championship. In the big game, Stanford beats Cal, then Eastern Carolina with the conference win over North Texas. Purdue takes care of Michigan State at home, while Penn State shuts out Washington. That was one of our 2 losses, was to the Nittany Lions. Doesn't look like a bad loss. Speaking of losses, Colorado loses their 2nd straight game. They lose to TCU, and then Texas Tech with a point victory over Kansas, and then the same UNLV over Wyoming. Ohio State on the road before they face Michigan beats Northwestern, and we see LSU, of course, beat Tennessee in the top stories. Maryland beats Virginia Tech by a point, and Oklahoma State over Iowa State. Fresno State knocks off Texas State in the Pac-12. Miami over Virginia in pretty emphatic fashion. In South Carolina, before they play Clemson, ends conference play with a victory over Auburn. We see UTSA finally get a victory. The worst team in college football beats South Florida on the road. That is not a good look for the Bulls. Florida Atlantic over Rice. Notre Dame takes care of business against New Mexico State. Boise State, still the Group of 5 representative. They beat Oregon State. They are 11-0. South Alabama knocks off Arkansas State. Illinois beats Minnesota. SMU over Georgia Tech. And then we see UTEP get a non-conference victory over UMass. Louisville takes care of Wake Forest. And the number 1 team in the country, Alabama, goes to the Swamp and wins 45-31. That Crimson Tide team looks unstoppable. Duke beats their rivals in North Carolina. Then Nebraska, before they face Iowa, beats Oregon, who's in danger of not even going to a bowl game this year. Kentucky beats Missouri in a low-scoring affair. Arizona knocks off Utah. And then Iowa, they lose to Michigan. They got to bounce back against Nebraska this week, while the Wolverines have the Buckeyes. Hawaii gets a road victory over New Mexico. Arizona State up to number 9 now, the victory over Cincinnati. USC looks ready for UCLA this week in the Battle of Los Angeles. San Jose State beats Air Force, and UCLA put up 59 on Rutgers. Your players of the week, Josiah Wagner of Cal, despite the loss, had 3 turnovers forced, while Micah Tease of Oklahoma had 11 for 152 and 4 scores. Your conference players of the week are Messiah Delhomme of Liberty and Sam Colon of Missouri State. Here's a look at your college football playoff top 25. Not much changes. Obviously, number 9 did go down this week, which moved everybody else up. And, of course, Colorado as well. But if you notice at the bottom of the rankings, look who's at number 25. Delaware, for the first time in program history, is ranked. So we have a number next to our name. And that puts a lot of thought. Do we have a shot at the college football playoff? Probably not. The Group of 5 representative is Boise State. They are 11-0, so unless they lose their last 2 games of the season, probably not going to make the playoff this year as the Group of 5 team. But that's something to look forward to, potentially, in the next season. Your top games going into rivalry week: Clemson, South Carolina, the Palmetto Bowl, the Battle of Los Angeles, USC, UCLA, and the Heroes game. Iowa, Nebraska top the slate. And then he also got in the ACC Pitt trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They play host to the runners-up from last year in the Duke Blue Devils. We end the season on the road in a non-conference game. We play the Yukon Huskies next week, who are 5-6 on the season, and this will be a tough one. It has no sort of implications on the conference championship game, but we did just become ranked, so I'd like to stay that way. And if Boise State does lose their last 2 games and we win our last 2, who's to say that we don't get in and the college football playoff? So we actually still have a lot to play for. I know it sounds like an outside chance, but we could potentially still make the college football playoff if enough dominoes fall our way, especially if Boise State loses the Pac-12 championship game. But that's going to do it for this one. UConn's a good team. We'll see them in the next episode. Hopefully we can get our 10th win of the season. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.